All right, well, I guess we can go ahead and get started now anyway. So I'm not sure, this is kind of I'd like a little bit of a higher turnout. So we're gonna start from what we did yesterday. So starting from number 4, I don't think we're gonna get through the whole thing today. We're probably just gonna finish 4 and 5. I don't think we're gonna have enough time to go into the word problems, which I would have loved to, but I just don't think we are going to be able to get into them. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm just gonna pick my top 2 equations, and I need to find one of the variables to eliminate. And I could probably eliminate z, but for some reason I had some bad luck with that, trying to figure that one out. And I'm just gonna go ahead and go with x because I tried doing that this morning. So I'm gonna multiply this by -3. So -3x plus 15y. All right, make sure you get the signs right. And that'll be a negative 9z equals 39 times 3. So that'd be 90 plus 18, which is 108. But I don't want to make any mistakes at all, so I'm not going to take any chances. Wait, 39 times 3. Oh, okay, I guess it does help to double check myself. So that would be 117. Oh, okay. Oh no, 9 times 3 is 27. I was thinking 9 times 2. Okay, I see. Anyway, double check the signs, make sure all the signs have been flipped. Okay, now we're going to take our second one, and I think we can go ahead and just leave this one the same. I don't need to change anything on this. So let's go ahead and put these two together for our equation A. Oh, good. 15 and 8. It's going to be 23y minus 10z, and 7 and 9 would be 6. So that'd carry the 1. That'd be 3. And it'd be 2. So it's supposed to be, negative 136. Okay. For a second there, I looked at that and it looked like it lined up. So it's not supposed to be 200. It's supposed to be 136. Okay. Now I got to move over to do the equation B. So for the equation B, I'm going to use this top one here. And I'm going to multiply it by, I'm trying to eliminate the same thing, so I'm going to multiply it by -2. And I can't pick the bottom one, so I'm going to have to pick this one here. So this one will be my second one. So -2x, and then -2 times -5 is going to be plus 10. Oopsie. Plus 10 y plus, and then 3 times -2. So that would actually be a negative. I would need a negative. So it'd be -6z. And let's see, this would be 39 times 2. So that's like 40. I'm thinking 78, but again, I'm not going to take any chances on this one. So -78. Okay, now I need to go ahead and take this. Well, actually, before I move on, let me double check my signs. All my signs should be reversed. So negative, positive, negative, positive, or negative. All right, so all the signs are flipped. The only one that should be positive is this y. All of theirs should be negative. All right, so now I need to take this one and times everything by 3. So I'm trying to eliminate x again so that they both have x eliminated. So let's go ahead and times that by 3, times this by 3. So 6 times 3 is 18. Y minus 5, that'd be 15. Z. And 29 times 3 is going to be 87. But again, let me just, yep, it is 87. And none of the signs should change. I should not have any sign changes on this one. So, wait a minute. Oh, okay. Oh, shoot, I was looking at the second one. For some reason, I was looking at that second one. Okay, so it's a good thing I drew the line here. And actually, for this one, I don't need the 3. For some reason, I was eyeballing it here and thinking, okay, I should make them both 6. But I made this one -2 so that I don't have to change much on it. Which, again, that's a good thing. I don't have to change anything for this one at all. And it probably would have still worked, but I'd have to change the top one. So there we go. And now let's go ahead and put these together. So this cancels out. I got, let's see, 10 minus 6 is 4y minus, and they're both negative, so that way they're going to combine into a bigger negative. So that'd be a negative 11z. And here, 78 and 29, put those together, 78 plus 29. So that'd be 107. Now I got to be really careful because I'm using this dollar store calculator, and it doesn't really do a good job of keeping track of negatives. So I got to make sure that I don't forget any of them are negative. And from here, I have to think of another variable to cancel. All right, so I have two choices. I can either eliminate y, or I can eliminate z, but I need them to be the same and match. I'm thinking it might be slightly easier to multiply them by 11, but then I'd have to make one of them negative. I'm going to go ahead and just do 11. I'm going to times this one by 11, but I'm also going to times this one by 10 so that I can get the y first. But now I need one of them to be negative, so I'm going to make this one negative 11, and this one will be 10. All right, so multiplying things by 11 is pretty easy. You just add the same number to, so like 23 plus 230. So you just put a 0 at the end of the second one, and then you add them together. But again, I don't want to take any chances. I don't know, I'm kind of tired today or something. I just can't seem to really wake up. All right, so it's going to be negative 2,530. And let's see, what's this one going to be? So this is going to change the sign. So that's going to be an easy one. Timesing anything by z, you just put a 0 after it. And 136 times 11. Now they're both negative, so that should be a positive 1,496. All right, now I got to multiply this whole thing by 10. So multiplying it by 10, I get 4 times 10. Okay, that should be 40. Seems kind of small for such a small number. I don't know if this is going to work out. I better pay extra close attention. And that should be opposite of 110. And this should be negative 1070. All right, so let's see what we get when we cancel this. All right, that one should be negative, positive, positive. Make sure I didn't accidentally change the sign on any of these. So 25, 30 plus 40. Now, that one should have been an easy one.
Mr. Nez,
Yeah.
you multiply by negative 11 on equation A, right?
For this one, yeah.
It should be, you've got a 0 in there.
There's an extra 0 in there?
There's a 0 in there.
This one?
So it's 23 times negative 11.
Oh, okay. I don't know where that 0 must have come from because I thought to myself, something's not adding up here. All right, so that might take care of that. So I was thinking, because this number shouldn't be that large. So 213, and that would be negative 213y. Okay, 1496 minus 1070. That'd be 426. And it's not going to be negative because my negative is not the bigger one. And this looks pretty straightforward. Let me just go ahead and divide both sides by negative 213. And 426 divided by 213 is going to be 2, but it's going to be negative 2. So it looks like we got our first one. We got our first y value. And again, all of these should be whole numbers. So if you get fractions or decimal numbers, then you might have to try it again. Or look back through your work and see where you might have made an error. So now that we know that y is negative 2, let's go ahead and plug it in here. So 4 times negative 2, 11z equals negative 107. And again, they should, just from what I see, what I'm seeing, they should all be between negative 10 and positive 10. So if you get something that's really big, whether it's negative or positive, that might also be an indication something's wrong. And here I'm going to add 8 to both sides. So plus 8 here, plus 8 here, negative 11z, oopsie, equals, and that's a plus, so they're different. So that's going to be negative 99. Divide both sides by negative 11. And then we should have our z value. So z would be equal to negative divided by negative is positive. So that'd be 9. Okay, great. Looks like it's working out so far. Now that we have y and z, we need to find the x. So I'm going to go with number with this one. I'm going to go with the first one. So to get the first one, I'm choosing the first one because x is already by itself. So x should be easier to solve with that. 5y, but we know y is negative 2, plus 3z, but z is 9, equals 39. All right, now x and then negative 5, negative 2 is positive 10 plus 27. Now let's see, in this case here, I have both of these on the same side, so I'm just going to combine them. So that'd be 37 equals 39. And if I ask you what number can I add to 37 to get 39, almost everybody without missing a beat is going to be, well, 2, because 2 plus 37 equals 39. So there we go. We got all of the we got all the points that we need for the ordered triple. So we just got to put them in alphabetical order. So 2, negative 2, and 9. All right, so that one was not too bad. Whew. Yep, like I said, these do require a bit of brain power to get through them sometimes, so you just got to be prepared for that. Okay, let's go ahead and get ready to move on to number 5. And moving on to number 5. Okay, now again, we got to start the process on which one are we going to eliminate. So we got to pick one of them to eliminate, and y is definitely not a good one because I'm going to have to multiply all of them to get something. 5 is not, I mean, this z is not a very good one either. So I want ones that have some that are negative and some that are positive. I guess I could make them all work. I mean, I guess we could. But I'm gonna go with x. I'm gonna eliminate the x first. So with these first two, I have to make this x a negative 3x. So I'm gonna multiply everything on this top by negative 3. And I'm gonna try to change this top one just because multiplying everything, because if you look at it, the numbers are kind of small and they'd be easy to multiply. And since they are all positive, that makes it easier to keep track of the times that you change anything. So if you change the sign on anything or miss changing the sign on it, wait, 3 times 12 is 3 times 12, 20. Okay. Now, let's see. Check the signs, check everything. Oh, no.
You multiply by positive 3?
No, by negative 3. But this should have been 9 because I knew something was looking off. All right. So let's go ahead and keep things moving along. For the second one, I see what you mean. Oh well, I don't want to rewrite it. So I'm going to multiply everything by negative 1 on this one here. But you know, sometimes that just happens. So that would make this plus 2z. And it's not going to really change anything. You know, even if you do something the hard way, it's still going to work out. Okay, let me just double check to make sure all of the signs have been changed. So this is changed, that one's changed. Okay. So let's go ahead and minus 10y, put those together. This should cancel out. And this should be negative 7z. And 35 minus 36 is negative 1. All right, that looks good because I want to keep the numbers not big. I want to keep them small if I can. Now I like this top equation. I like it because it's got a coefficient of 1, and again they're all the same, so that makes it very easy to keep track of times when you have to change something, which in this case it looks like I am going to have to change something because I can't pick this middle one again. I am going to have to pick this one though, and I don't think I have to multiply this by anything because I need to change this top one by negative 7. So multiply the top one by negative 7, and I think I can leave that bottom one the same. So negative 7x minus negative 7y plus, and then now make sure I don't forget this one here. 3z times 7 is 21z equals 7 times 12. Let me go ahead and get that. 7 times 12 is 84. And again, that's got to be a negative, so equals negative 84. Now I just got to change, not change, but just rewrite this one here. So 7x minus 6y minus 5z equals 32. All right, and then from here, I'm gonna go ahead and eliminate x, which is again what I'm hoping which is what I was hoping would happen. So 13y minus 26z equals 32 minus 84, negative 52. All right. Now I need to pick another one of these to eliminate. Now I also notice that both of these are, they look like they have all negatives on them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to change one, and I'm going to have to eliminate one of these. So definitely I'm going to have to multiply this by 13, and I'm going to have to multiply this by 10. If 7, like let's say my z value was 28, that would have been really great because I would have only had to have changed one of them. But in this case here, I don't want to multiply this by 26 and multiply that by 7, the whole things. So I think it's just easier to go with 10 and 13 because multiplying by 10 is pretty easy. But now I need one of these to be switched. Now, since I accidentally changed the sign on these, it'd be really easy to just change them back. So there we go. Now they're all positive. And that makes it a lot easier to use them to multiply. Or you could just multiply them by negative 13, and that would have the same effect. In fact, I should have just done that. All right, so timesing it by 10 is easy. 7 times 13 is 91. Z, and that should come out to 13. All right, now to multiply everything by 10, that should be pretty easy because, well, just put a 0 at the end of every number and keep everything pretty much exactly the same. And that'd be negative 520. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right, so 260 minus 91. Again, my calculator cannot keep track of the negative, so I have to treat it like it's a positive number. So it's going to be 169. But it's also going to be negative because I have to keep track that this is going to be a negative number. And I have to do the same thing with this one. That does not look right. I must have pushed the wrong button because that is not looking right at all. There you go. That looks a little bit better because I got something like 200. I'm like, okay, maybe I missed a button. So this is going to be negative 507. Now I got to divide both sides by 169. Z equals 507 divided by 169. So it's going to be 3. So there we go. We got our first variable. Got the first one. Now I need to put this into one of these equations, and I'm going to go with this one right here. I mean, look at how small the numbers are. That's going to be super easy to work with. At least I think so. 10y plus 7 times 3 equals 1. This should help me get that. Should help me get it pretty easily. All right, so put these together. 10y plus 7 times 3 is 21. And I got to get rid of this 21, so I'm going to minus 21 from both sides. 10y equals negative 20. Now, what must y be in order to multiply it by 10 to get negative 20? Well, we can divide both sides by 10. So negative 20 divided by 10 would be negative 2. And now we have the y value. All right, whew, that one went by a little bit easier than the last one. All right, so I want to pick this top one again, only because I don't have anything for x, which means I don't have to divide anything to get rid of that x. So x is already by itself, which should make it easy to solve for, plus negative 2 plus 3z, so 3z, z is also 3, huh? Okay. All right, there we go. So x minus 2 plus 3 equals 12. And put these together, so that's going to be 9 minus 2, which is going to be 7, plus 7 equals 12. Now, what number can I add to 7 to get 12? So hopefully you're thinking 5. 5 is the number that we would need to get 12. So there we go. We got all three numbers, no fractions, no decimals. So this looks right. And we got all three of them. So that's poggers. Let's go ahead and put them into alphabetical order. So again, sometimes you'll find different ones at different times. Sometimes you'll find, Z or Y first, but you got to put them in the right order. So X, Y, and 3 in this case here. Go ahead and put that in there. Oops, come on, erase it. Did it freeze? Yep, it froze. Okay, there it's back again. And there we go. We got all three of them in the ordered triple. So now we have the coordinate where these three lines intersect. Okay. And I think that's it. Like I said, we were only going to complete the 2 problems and leave the word problems out. I would have loved to have gotten to them, but just because of this week, there is going to be, well, we just won't have any time to get to it. So the word problems are going to be taken out. So unfortunately, there will be, for this assignment, for this year, for fall 2020, there will be no applications or word problems for this chapter. Most of that's just due to the internet outage on Wednesday. But make sure you turn in what you have. We're gonna have to, again, I already have the packets put together and pretty much ready to be mailed out. And there's not much I can do to change them. So week 8 packets are ready to be picked up now. Also, I heard, let me go ahead and, anyway, that's it for the announcements, I guess. So that will be it. If there's no other questions, I will go ahead and let you guys go. Bye-bye for now.